Hey everyone, Angela Raincatcher here, and today I am going to share with you my daily divination practice. This is how I connect with and communicate with my gods and goddesses, my ancestors, and my spirit guides. Or probably what I should say is how I open myself to hear their messages to me. There are many different ways that pagans will use divination. This is the way that I found works for me. So without further ado, let's do some divination. So here I have my setup. I just use a very simple gray felt cloth to be the background for what I read against. And then I usually do two things. I pull from my rune set. I'll pull one piece from that, and then I will pull a card from the Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle deck. So let me start by showing you a little bit about my rune. You may notice here that I have some of the Elder Futhark runes here, and these are printed, or these were etched on blackthorn. And then I also have symbols from astrology to give me some additional symbol sets to work with, and I've just found that that works pretty well for me. I also have some symbol sets like these two from the tradition that I practice in. So I'm bringing in a variety of symbol sets for me to work with that I pull from this bag. Mildred Payne Oracle Secret Pocket Oracle deck is a little oracle deck. It's a pretty new one out there on the market. I think it's been out for maybe a year or two, but it's a smaller deck, and it's not a tarot deck, but it has very simply an image and a word that can then be interpreted. And I use these, I pull one and I use this with the other, with the runes and the astrology symbols, to come up with a message for the day. So before I get started with the actual divination, I want to connect with my spirit allies. And so what I'll do is I'll place my feet flat on the floor and close my eyes. And I bring my attention down to my feet. And I imagine the bottoms of my feet can open up, and that roots grow from the bottom of my feet down into the ancestral chakra. And I'm rooted in the ground, in the earth with my ancestors. And as I breathe, I pull that energy up into my body, and I let it flow up my body to energize all of my chakras, from my root to my sacral, to my solar plexus, to my heart chakra, filling up to my throat, to my third eye, to my crown chakra, and then up to the transpersonal, so that I am fully connected to the powers of the universe. And thus connected, I then will say a prayer, and I will call upon all of my spirit allies from the lower worlds and ask that they join and gather around me. I call to all of my spirit allies of the middle worlds, and I ask that they gather around me. And then I call upon all of my spiritual allies from the upper worlds and ask that they gather around me. And I open my ears and my eyes, my mind, my heart, and my hands to receive the messages that they have for me today. Blessed be. I will just dig into my rune bag here, and I'll just dig around until my fingers tend to pull something, and I'll just pull it out and place it there. And here I have pulled the symbol for Earth. I'll just place that right there. Then I'll take my Mildred Payne Oracle cards, and I'll just give them a bit of a, they're difficult to shuffle because of the size. They're really tiny for my large hands. So I just give them a little bit of a shuffle. And then using my non-dominant hand, I will spread them out. And then I just kind of move my hands around until I feel like the card is ready to come out. And I can't really, it's a very subtle feeling, but I'll just touch a card and it'll be right. So I just kind of let my hands move around until I find the right card. And so this time we have pulled the moon. Even though I have been doing this for a while and I have a very good sense of what each of the symbols means, I still sometimes find that I need to refer to some of my books. And that's totally okay to do that. I know that some people will be like, oh no, I had to look at the book, I'm a failure. No. The idea is that if you have to refer to the book, that's cool, but you also need to open up your own heart, your own intuition to go a bit further with it than just what the book or books say. So always feel free to refer to your references if you need them. Thank gosh, that's why we have them. So here are the ones that I tend to use, that I particularly like. If my pull gives me a rune, then I use this book, Taking Up the Runes by Diana Paxson. I find this to be a really clear book, a clear reference book. It's written by somebody who's a respected elder in the North American Astrology and Pagan community. And I know a lot of people who have used this book, a lot of people I respect have used and recommended this book. So I tend to use the Taking Up of the Runes. If what I pull out is an astrological symbol, then the book that I use is this book, Practical Astrology for Witches and Pagans by Dominguez Jr. This is a really good book for folks who are wanting to use astrology in their magic, the astrological glyphs, and also, the timing, and it really looks at astrology as a language, much like we use the runes as a divinatory language or as a language to communicate with the gods. So I really recommend this book, and basically anything that Evo's written is a really good reference book. Now, the Mildred Payne hasn't really been around long enough, I guess, to get its own book, and I don't know if there's anything in the works on that, but it does come with this handy, oh, here it is. It comes with this very handy little insert that gives you meanings for each of the cards. So I always refer to that as well. So those are the references that I use when I need to just kind of take a moment to ground myself in the meaning of the symbols that I've pulled, and then I let my my intuition kind of flow from that or riff off of that. For the reading that we pulled today, we pulled the symbol for Earth, and then we pulled the card for the moon. Now, the symbol of Earth is not actually in the astrology book that I mentioned, but I felt it important to include this symbol in my symbol set because, you know, as a practitioner of an earth-based spirituality, sometimes I just need to know when something's happening in the earth plane, on the physical, in Malkuth. And that's what this symbol represents. It represents things happening in this realm, in the physical, not a spiritual issue, not a mental issue, but like here in the earth plane. The card that we pulled was the moon, and the moon speaks of natural cycles, lunacy, dark emotions, a wayward soul. Okay, so taking those two things together, I would take a moment just to breathe and ground and think about how do these two things, the physical realm and these meanings about the moon, how do they come together? I'm getting the feeling that this message for me today is to understand that when we're working on any of the planes, whether it be the physical plane or the astral plane, which the moon is also represents the astral plane or the world of dreams, that all of these have their own cycle, and that time and patience and any activity that you want to do, you need to know what the natural cycles are for that activity, and you need to put yourself into the flow of those natural cycles. That working against the natural cycle will actually be to your detriment. I then thank my spiritual allies for the messages they have given to me. I thank my ancestors, I thank my spirit guides, I thank my gods and goddesses, and I hold that message close to my heart to take it out to the world as I go about my day. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please feel free to share it with your friends or to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to hearing from you. Peace out.